These are the signs that might show up for you, so keep your eyes open for these. Butterflies, doves, a waterfall, bees, and also dragonflies. So no matter in what form or shape they show up for you, when you see them, they are for you. Take note of the time of day that you see them. The numbers might be angel numbers that direct you. Also take note of what you're doing, and also take note of how you felt when you saw these. These are messages from your spirit team. My name is Sophia, and I'm a bridge translator for the higher realms. Welcome to today's message. Yesterday, as I connected to receive the messages for you, the first thing that I saw was a big full moon, and next there was Hecate, but she immediately turned around and started walking down this dark footpath. Everything was very dark, but I could sense it was a forest, the entrance to it. In front of me was Hecate. She never looked back, she just walked in front of me, and in front of her was the black dragon. Now the black dragons usually only appear when there is strong protection needed, often in very sacred spaces where no other energies can enter. So I've called on them more than once when there was really a situation where the strongest protection was needed. They also guard some of the highest knowledge and wisdom. As I was walking behind Hecate and the black dragon, there was suddenly a large butterfly in front of me, but not just a large butterfly. He was bigger than a building, filling my whole vision. And I heard them say that I should tell the story. The story they're referring to is the one happening on my 8th birthday. So this was the first birthday that my mom baked a cake for the whole class. And the cake was in the form of a butterfly. My mom is quite arty, so this was really a beautiful cake, and I was so excited. So me and my sister walked to school 3-4 blocks, if I have to guess, and we were almost at the school gate when my mother's car pulled up next to us, and she said we should get in. I was confused. It was my birthday. I was on my way to have this small class party before the school started, but she told us there was an accident. So we got in, got home, had to pack all our things to go to the farm that was the farm of my father's parents. My grandfather had an accident. So we got at the farm, and there I had to hear that my grandfather passed away. He was working in the mine. I'm not sure if it was a coal mine or a gold mine, but he was working underground, and he had diabetes. So they suspect at one stage, standing on the platform next to where the train that takes the wagons of coal or gold or whatever was mined, that train, he was standing at the platform where that train would pass, and they suspect he got dizzy or something, fell forward, and was totally crushed by this train. He was relatively young, and that was very traumatic, something that left an imprint on my memory. Why the Divine Feminine wants me to tell you this story? Because it is Hecate who brought me to that portal. Why they wanted me to tell you this? I realized a few days ago that if my grandfather hadn't passed away at that time, we wouldn't have moved to the farm, which was for me like paradise, where I grew up and had that strong connection with nature and a beautiful childhood. What they want you to know is that no matter what happens at this stage in the now that you can see in your life, know that it is exactly what is supposed to happen for what your soul wanted to experience and learn. There are no mistakes. The universe does not test you. It is all part of the journey for you to reach that state where you are fully awakened, where the masculine and feminine energy inside of you are balanced, and then you can see clearly. That point where you love yourself completely, because then you love unconditionally. The point where you know, experience that you are one with everything around you. That is where the journey leads or have led for you. I had another vision of you, and that was you were sitting in the middle of a sea of mirrors. I can actually better describe it as a ball of mirrors and you on the inside, because every angle that you looked at it, there were mirrors. They were all different sizes, but they were all facing you. So sitting in the middle of these mirrors, you couldn't even see your own backside. You can see every side of you. And that is exactly what you are experiencing here and what you wanted to experience. Every one and everything is a mirror, one of those mirrors. And then when you look at that, you can clearly see yourself. And if you do not like what you see, you can clearly see what you need to change to be the person that you want to be. When you have awakened, you know you're not competing with anyone or anything. You know who you are. What else came through for you in the last 2 days was that there's a love frequency. One of the aspects of that is that love is entering your life. So if you feel to scroll away now, just stay, because remember, only take what resonates, but there is love entering your life. The love frequency is the love you have for everything, the oneness that you now experience. So right after they showed me that, they showed me a castle. The fairy tale is unfolding. And remember, you know what your fairy tale is. Your fairy tale is not the same as the next person's, but that is unfolding. I saw it from above the castle and the grounds that led to the river down in the valley. And I heard actually fairy tale. That is unfolding for you. You might be living it already. You just need to see it. Then I was shown in the sky, between the clouds, there were 7 floating steps. They were as if they were hanging in the air without anything holding them. So they were not connected. They were separate, but the first 5 were all spaced evenly, but the last 2 and the distances between the last 2 steps were bigger. You are on this journey, and there are 7 steps that you will take. This is the next part of the journey, and the last 2 might take longer or be a bit more challenging. Now, when I followed Hecate on the dark path, they said that you are in a dark part of the journey, not meaning that it is necessarily difficult, but it can be a part of the journey that it is a mystery. And I would recommend that you get a journal, or in your journal, write down, and you will see the 7 steps, 7 things that would happen. This also connects with what has been coming through about the number 7 for us. I explained the whole group 7 download for you, so I will link the video for you to find. But 7 is the number of God, of the divine. I love you very much, but before I say goodbye, there is a new short channel that I made. If you want to join it, I will also put a link in the description or in the comments or in both. So with that, I send my infinite love. Goodbye.